welcome back, the tube. Right, obviously, as you can see, weather's not great. Now it's overcast today, it's ideal for what we're doing. Just getting ourselves set up. So we got up this morning, 4:30, drove about 45 minutes. We are fishing a rock mark today. I messaged Mr. Joe Walton the other day because I seen a little message come through about specimen weekend. Obviously I completely forgot it was this weekend, so unfortunately we've only got one day. We've got Sunday, I think, till about 5 o'clock to get a fish. So obviously got up nice and early, come down onto the mark because I know that a lot of people like to fish this place. Not lots of people know where it is. Well, they do. The people that know, the people that don't, innit? You know what I mean? So don't get offended if you see a bit of the video and I'll give it away because it is what it is. I mean, nothing really you can do about it unless you come nip your phone off me. But yeah. Hoping today for a ray or maybe a nice bass. Like I said, I got down nice and early and got here. The mark that I did want to fish, which is about another 15 minutes walk away, maybe even longer. Got there. There's 4 anglers there already. So they stayed there tonight, but it is what it is, you know, not that you can do about it. Where I'm going to be fishing off the rocks today, we are going to have to lift some fish. So hopefully we don't lose any. So I've got a £100 leader. Just made up a couple of rigs because I wasn't going to fish this heavy, but it is what it is. £100 leader, £80 hook length. Got some Chinook hooks, 2 size 4s. Going to be fishing, obviously, Wriggler's finest launch today. We'll do a quick bait up anyway, but yeah, I'm going to fish a short pulley versus a long pulley today. Both exactly the same components. I've got the solo splashdown as well, just to help keep it together while it's in the air, because I find with an implement, I don't know if it's the way I cast or something like that, every now and again it will split off and then it will slow down, and I've got to slow the reel down with my thumb now. I use a multiplier just to stop it from birdieing. But we have got a pound of lug. Well, maybe not a pound, about a pound, yeah. So hopefully Bales, we can give ourselves a good run for our money today. Obviously I did ask the other guys what they were catching down there, and they said a load of schoolies. So I'm quite glad I dug quite a bit of worm. Because yeah, it is what it is. Dig, I meant brang. Dig. Grabbed it yesterday. So hopefully we can get ourselves a fish on it. Bass. They get a lot of wrasse down here as well. Obviously, oh, I'll have to show you in a minute. Look at them bad boys. Woo! So I've got myself some new boots, as requested by Andy, because obviously we are fishing rock marks now, and he was explaining to me how dangerous it can be, really. Showed me a few pictures of some accidents that his friends have had on the rocks. Broken ankles, split open heads, all that kind of thing, just from slipping. So I thought I'd invest in a pair of boots, keep myself a little bit more safer. Right, so we've got some bait elastic, plenty of water and food today. We've got about 12 hours of fishing, something like that. Well, it was 12 hours, probably about 10 hours of fishing left. But got a few razors. There they are, look. Wrigglers. Bosh, look at them bad boys. That's 1 ray, 2 ray, 3 ray, 4 ray, 5 ray, 6 ray, 7 ray, 8 ray in that packet. With any luck. Right. Obviously a lot of you have seen this before, I do it all the time. But there's a lot of people that are new to the channel. If you haven't noticed, it has grown substantially. So obviously big thank you to all you guys for backing me in that. I mean, much appreciated. Right, we're just gonna fish about half the size. So 2 baits, so there might even be 16 ray there. 16 ray mondos. Just bite size, so they smash it, move on. Do you know what I mean? I don't want any of these finicky bites today. I'm waiting for them to take the hooks. Straight in there, boys. Straight up the trapper. Right. There's my elastic. Right. First hook in. obviously these Chinnoos are really strong, but the other thing I like about them is they're short. So when you are fishing a bigger hook, like look at that, and you want to put the second hook in, you still got loads of room on the bait if you're not using a really long bait. I find when you use the J hooks, don't get me wrong, I love the J hooks, I do use them all the time, but obviously here we have to lift fish and I don't want one to bend out, especially if it's a really nice fish, or if I've got to lift it onto the reef and then walk down, like put my rod down, climb down and get it. Because sometimes if they're really big you have to do that, because I'm not going to risk breaking my rod for a fish. I know you've got to try and get them all to the bank, but you know, 150 quid, like I'm not rich, I don't have a lot of money. I'm currently saving up to get some new rods, well, like a second pair of rods for this kind of fishing, just with a lot more grunt on them, so I can literally just wind the fish, lift it up over. I'm probably going to go for the Zolkrons, I think. I've been looking at them for a while, the Zolkron XTs. But that's a video for another day. Once. I'm just going to go in twice this time. 3 times a lady. Right. Fucking vocals on him, bait. Right then. There you have it. Bang bang ray ray bait. I'll tell you now, if it smashes that, it is on. It is on. Right. Right, I'm going to put this on now. Smack it out. Same with the other pulley. The other pulley's a bit bigger. This one's about 3 foot, the other one's 5 foot. Gonna see if there's a difference. There might be, there might not be. Hook up rates, cut that kind of sort of stuff. And yeah, I might even try a pulley dropper a little bit later. But tide's not running mega here, but it's a big tide today, so later on we're gonna be on the fish. Right, in a bit. Right there. First rig's out. Obviously half a sandy, half a launch. Went out alright. Obviously we can't do any we're literally on a little ledge and then you've got to climb up. So no fancy casting today. Simple overhead thump. Same rig, obviously this one's a lot longer. Massive girt rigs. Right. Obviously this one here, I should have probably put it opposites, but it's what it is, isn't it? This is lovely lug, look at that. Oof, girt lugs. Right, so we're gonna bang a couple of worm on. I normally put about 3 on. Just slowly get them up over the eye, there we go. First couple I've got to pop, you know, but that's just juicing it. Is what it is. A lot of people use them singly, that's fine. But obviously, I would like to try and get out a mega bass today. You can get them here, well up over £10, especially in close. So, ooh, lovely bit of luck. There you have it, guys. Another little lug bait, flapping around. Gonna pull this panel hook down, get it clipped on, send it out, and then yeah, hopefully we get a fish. That's gonna be like sort of how it goes today, all day, because that's the baits we got. So if I do anything different, there are at low water, I might be able to get some limpets and some what are they called? Limpets and mussels at low water. So hopefully, maybe we can grab a couple of them, smash them up. I've got a smaller rod as well. So what I'll do is I'll bring one rod in. So I'm only using 2 rods at a time, because obviously if I catch a fish I'm using 3, it won't count. So yeah, reel 1 rod in, then just drop that one over as the tide's coming in, see if we can smash us a few wrasse out. Other than that, guys, bring it back if I catch a fish. If not, I'll tell you what I'm having for lunch in a bit. Bosh, right guys, both rods out now. So all it is, sit back, wait, relax, chill out. Obviously the plan today wasn't to come down here, but I was going to head down Kingsbridge way, or maybe another little spot for a gilt I've never had one before, but everyone I spoke to said they mainly catch the big and good ones when it's really sunny and really clear. The water is really clear, but obviously the sun isn't going to be out today. It's going to be overcast all day. It has been drizzly all morning, so hopefully the drizzle goes away, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. I haven't put the waterproof, so we're just going to have to get wet. Skin's waterproof, innit? Do you know what I mean? So, like I said before, as I was showing you, got myself some boots. Obviously safety reasons, but yeah, I mean, I'm happy with them. I think they were like £60, so not too bad. Do you know what I mean? They're only for fishing, so they'll probably last for ages. It's not every day I fish rock marks, but now I'm getting into it. It's just my go-to. I mean, I love doing estuary fishing, as you've seen on the last few videos. It is fun, but you don't always get the mega fish. Sometimes you have to put a few blanks on the open coast to land yourself something big. Obviously it's not all about catching the big fish, it's about catching fish, innit, and getting out. But I think I've got a better chance today of getting a fish out here, especially when the wind kicks in a bit later and the sea roughens up a little bit. I'm up really high, so landing the fish will be a bit more difficult, but there is a good chance of a nice fish. A nice fish, another one. Yeah, and when I'm fishing on my own, I get a bit weird, and it's a lot easier just to talk freely. I mean, not that I don't talk freely in front of my friends, but obviously you're always talking between yourselves, do you know what I mean? You don't really have enough time to do camera work. But hopefully, the guys around the corner said that they're off by about 10. So what I might do, if the fishing ain't good here, quickly pack down, walk another 20 minutes, get down on that spot, ready for low water. Because low water, 3 or 4 hours after, that's the time I've had all my good fish down there. So yeah, so we're in for a good day today. I mean, I like fishing this place as well because it's nice and quiet. You get the odd coastal walker, but that's about it. You know, it's not like fishing the beach where there's loads of people, it's mega busy. You can probably relax and just drift away from reality, really. Sorry if I keep turning around and looking at the tips. Actually, I can see them in the camera, can't I? And I'll probably hear the ratchets. I've got the ratchets on tight. I know I'm stood right next to my rod, so I could grab them quickly if I get a bite, but obviously the seagulls and stuff coming off the cliff. I've had it before where they've come off, hit my line, my rod's gone over. I mean, if you haven't got the ratchet on and they can't take line, they're just gonna fly straight off with your rod, which wouldn't be great, would it? But now we're gonna sit back, relax, have a cup of coffee, and hopefully bring you back with some mega fish in a bit. Right then guys, as you can see we have moved. Guys that were down here before kindly, when they walked past, dropped down and told me that it was free to fish here now. So quickly jumped down before any other anglers turned up. No action at the other mark. I did have quite a weird bite, lifted into it, there was a bit of weight. So I was like, oh, you know, might have a fish on. But unfortunately not, it was a spider crab. I was trying to lift it up so I could show it to the camera, but as I was lifting it up, knocked the rock and just dropped off. So, but yeah, so the spider crabs are here, so I will be changing the baits every, I don't know, 20 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes, depending on how bad they get. Hopefully when the tide pulls a bit harder, we won't get as many, but obviously we're fishing high to low and then low to high this evening. Fishing all the way through, because that's just how we do. The rods, as you can see, the rods are out straight. And they are in the tide, there's a nice bend on them, so hopefully they have a kickback or they wrap around. The ratchets are on, because obviously the rod stand here is like vertical, so if I didn't and I had a good bite, it'd probably pull forwards. I'd lose the rod and I'd lose both rods and the rod stand. So lovely bit of tide out there, so hopefully we'll be on the fish soon. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, this is yellow. So I'm trying this new line, it's called Surfx, one of the two. I'll show you later out of my bag. Someone recommended it to me. It's £18, but it's 0.33. So I can already tell I can hit the lead a lot further with it. I mean, I think this one is 0.35, and that's the ASSO line. That's £18 as well, but it's a lot thicker. You can feel it, and this stuff here, and it feels, even though it's thinner, it feels a bit stronger. So there's not as much stretch in it. So yeah, that's about it really, guys. So until I catch a fish, or until I get hungry and I want to show you what I've got for dinner, that'll be it. Nah, I'm sure we'll do little updates for the day, but I'm pretty sure, hopefully we get a bonus fish on the outgoing, but as you know, my favourite tide is the incoming tide. So fingers crossed, we'll nail a few fish in a bit. Right then, people. So just had 3 or 4 lure anglers turn up next to me on my right, and obviously the tide's pulling right hard. So I'm only fishing one rod at the minute. I'm just hitting it up, and then if the tide drags it down around there and reeling it in, obviously the other rod's ready to go, casting that one out, and just alternating rods just to make it fair. So I don't want to fuck that fishing up, do you know what I mean? Obviously it is what it is. Can't stop people fishing where they're going to fish, and that's what I was trying to get across earlier. People are going to turn up to where you're fishing and that, so just got to adapt, just have a little bit of etiquette in it. Just because you're here first doesn't mean you own the rock. So yeah, just to avoid tangle lines and that, fishing one, so I'm hitting it up left. Hopefully the gripper grips in, but if it does get knocked out, when it sort of starts to get round this bit of rock I'm fishing, I'm reeling it in, baiting the next one up, casting that out, and then just alternating in between just to keep the fishing up. But obviously when the tide swings it'll be fine, because no one can go left of me, so I can put both rods out. At the minute, obviously we have got big tides on, so there's a lot of seaweed coming through, and that's the one downside to fishing with a multiplier. You've got to have a shock leader on, so it all sits on the shock leader knot when you're reeling in. Obviously I'm fishing over a reef, so it gets so far and then I've got to stop reeling, take all the seaweed off because the leader knot won't come through the eye. And at the minute it's been alright, I haven't got snagged, but hopefully it stays like that. If not, at low water I'll just get my rigs back, and hopefully we won't have that problem on the incoming tide. All it is where it's getting higher, when it goes up into the river, picks up the seaweed that hasn't been in the water for a while, and then for the first hour or two of the drop, it all floods out through the mouth. So, well, that's the plan of action anyway. I'm going to grab some food, hit a rod out, and see if we can't get you guys a fish. More importantly, get me a fish to weigh in, because I haven't caught anything yet. In a bit. Well guys, as you can see, well, you probably can't, but I have just moved back to the original place. Unfortunately, like I was just saying about fishing etiquette, a couple of people just turned up, walked under my rods, and there's literally about maybe 5 foot of rock, and they just stood there casting. Both of them cast over my line. Well, instead of argue about it and bicker about who's right and who's wrong, make it ruin my Sunday, I thought I'd just quickly pack up, run back here, get 2 rods in the water. I can fish 2 rods then, and last thing I want to be doing on a Sunday is rolling around on the rocks, you know what I mean? But, you know, guys, if people are fishing, there's not a lot of room, you know, either find somewhere where there is some room. Don't just walk under someone's rods within like 5 foot and start flicking your lure out. And you can, like, I use orange line, so it's not like they can't see it. Anyway, it's not about who's right or wrong, is it? It's about catching fish. I mean, if I wasn't on a time limit and I had to catch a fish for the competition, I might have said something, but you can't teach danglers, boy. Just can't do it. There's one out. Pretty sure we're going to get a load of spider crabs for the camera. But it is what it is, isn't it? Can't stop them. I've got a bit of weed on my line, so for the few lot with OCD, if you can see it, I do apologise, but I'm not putting my line back to take it off. It'll come off when I reel in. There we go, ratchet set. log number 2. Obviously there's not a lot of room where I'm fishing. I decided to tuck myself right on the end of the rock so that if anyone turns up, they can't, they can't come over and like slide right next to me. Right. Lug bait going out now. Right out there in the tide line. Tighten that one up. Right, just quickly, for those of you that don't fish, obviously people that do fish will know, and if you do watch a lot of fishing channels, you'll see them say, oh, well, I'm going to hit one out and try and get it into the tide line. So, seeing on the water, where you can see like, it goes smooth and there's like a big line all the way through, there's the tide line, and that's what they're trying to hit. So obviously on some places you have to cast mega to hit it, and I'm not saying you won't catch fish if you don't hit it, but a lot of fish generally do like the tide, so if you can hit that, that's ideal. Obviously we are casting into there, so that's our best chance, I reckon, of getting a fish. So yeah, just thought I'd quickly show you, just because you can see it really well here, and a lot of places you can't really see it on the camera. But yeah, so when you're out fishing, if you are trying to get the best results, try and hit it into that line, and that's where the fish will be in a bit. Well, the fishing's a bit quiet on this outgoing tide. Hopefully low water in could produce us a nice couple of fish. If not, it's nice to sit here down on the cliffs and taking the scenery anyway. But fish aren't hungry, but I am. Just about to smash a good old Gensters pasty. I mean, the lure anglers haven't caught anything yet either. Just in a couple leave now. I mean, if they all leave, I might move back, I might not. But I feel like I'm definitely just going to sit here. I'm going to sit it out. Here's what it is. What will be is what will be. And what will be is me hungry. So, up the Ginsters. Just me and the seagulls here. Taking in the views. Hoping for a bite. I've been talking to my rods for about 10 minutes, so hopefully that does the trick. And yeah. Let's get some bites on camera, bite. But I've set you up now, so hopefully, if I do get a good bite, I can just press go. Well, yeah, hopefully. It's probably not going to happen like that. But if I start to get a bite, I can just press go. And hopefully we'll get the bite on camera. And there'll be a good fish on the end. Right, in a bit. Right, people, wind's picked up a little bit, so sorry if it's affecting the camera, but you know, it's what it is. I just put a nice lug bait on. Got 4 or 5 lug on there, nice big one, hopefully for a bass. But I'm pretty sure in the beginning I said lug worm I dug. I didn't mean dug, I meant lug worm I got. I actually got it last minute. From Mr. Newton Baits, absolute geezer. Obviously he was out fishing, so he managed to get it sorted for me so I could pick it up. Like I said, didn't find out till late that it was the specimen weekend. So big ups to Newton Baits. Don't know why I said Doug, it just came out. Just completely lied to all of you. And yeah, it was really stressing me out, so I thought I'd just address it. Other than that, we are gonna plough down on some good old Jammy D donuts from Asda's Own. I do like these donuts, I'm not gonna lie, but if you want a proper naughty donut, do you know what I mean? Get yourselves down to Sainsbury's, nice and early while they're still warm. Lovely. Obviously I'm starving, fish ain't, but I've just put some nice juicy baits out, so hopefully. I've got some razor as well. I'm not telling you where I get them ones from. That's a secret. There's not very many, so obviously, you know, I'll just take a few, and then every time I want to go fishing, there's a big tide, get a few more. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try maybe sandy or razor wraps, see if we can get us a bit more scent in the water. because obviously sand eels don't have a great scent. They do fish really well on their own, but I don't have any mackerel or I don't have any squid to wrap them with, so maybe I'm going to try some razor and launch wraps and see how they do. I mean, nothing's working at the minute, so you never know. Might get some bonus fish or a fish. Right, I'm going to plough down into these. Probably do the old packet. Do you know what I mean? Mussels and that. Got to keep them fed. That'll probably just replenish the, all the calories I burnt walking this morning. In a bit. Right, guys. Well, as predicted, spider crabs have become a problem. So what I'm going to do is, obviously I'm still going to put the baits out and stuff like that, but I'm not going to be using my expensive chinu hooks just for the spider crabs to bite them off. Look, see, that's £80 leader, clean, gone, no hooks. It's only been out there 10 minutes, so hopefully it doesn't happen all day, but it's what it is. The little bastards. Right. So we're going to go for size 3s. Obviously they're still good hooks, they are the J hooks, things like that. We can land the fish at the bottom now, so it's not too bad. We don't have to lift them up. I might have to switch back to the other hooks a bit later on at high water, so we'll have to lift the fish because you can't get down on the platform, but it's what it is. Just have to keep going. When the trace is actually fine, it's just obviously where they've been nabbing at the bait, they just clipped straight through. Nightmare, but this is what you've got to deal with when you're fishing, really, especially near rough marks or just beach fishing. And spider crabs will take everything and your wallet. Right. Gosh. Well, it's not too bad. It doesn't take too long to put a couple of hooks on, does it? But if it keeps happening, it can get expensive. Lube her up, boy. Go. There we go. Job's a good one. Snip that in the bag. There we go. Right, I'm gonna get some bait on this one. Bang it back out. But that's just to show you how mad it is with the spider crabs down there. There's loads of them. They just keep cutting me hooks off. I nearly landed 2. I've dropped them at the rock. So if I get one, I'll show you what they look like for the people that haven't seen one before. I mean, most anglers would have seen them, but you know, not everyone fishes these kind of marks to catch them. So, right, I'm gonna get some bait on, bring it back if we get one in a bit. Right, guys. Well, lesson learned: when the tide slackens off, don't put fish baits out. Just lost 2 rigs. I've pulled about 5 or 6 spiders to the edge. Obviously, once you start lifting them up, the line unravels and they fall off. So yeah, they've been smashing the baits. There must be hundreds out there. I've literally had one every cast. If not if the hooks haven't gone, there's been one on, and it's dropped off at the bottom of the cliff. It's what it is. So just got the worm bait out for a minute. Gonna try with this little rod. Obviously the old marketplace special. Bosh, bosh, bosh. There you go. Just got a bit of braid on there. Little weight. Little bit of trace, and a little worm. So while it's quiet, I'm just going to drop it in and see if I can't pull myself out a little wrasse or something, or a big wrasse. I mean, they get big here, so don't see why not. But in the meantime, until the tide starts running hard again, I'll be on the old. Oh, is that a seal? There you go. To top it all off, there's a seal coming up. I mean, he's only drifting along, to be fair. Probably go up the river, but not what you wanted to see today. Not when the fishing's this slow, anyway. Right, we'll keep an eye on that. I'm going to put a little rod out and then smack a sand eel bait out when the tide changes and it starts flooding. In a bit. well, obviously with all the spider crab issues and stuff we were having, I decided, and a few more anglers turned up as well, so everyone started getting a bit tangled up and that, so I thought, oh, I'll just pack up. So hour before the tide completely switches and comes back on itself. So I've headed down to the estuary. Still got plenty of lug left. So hopefully I'm going to use lug and razor and try and get myself either a bass or a gilt. Gilt would be incredible because I've never caught one. I know they get them in this sort of area. Probably about an hour away from where I was fishing. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we'll get one. You know, it's what it is. If we don't, but can't say we haven't tried. Walked miles today, so put the hours in. So if we get rewarded with a fish, ideal. If not, we'll get back out. I think midweek we're going to go out and do a session. Might try out Timber Letters or somewhere like that, somewhere local. That way we get a bit more fishing and less driving. Well, hopefully the move pays off. We'll have a little look around as well, because I've just found myself a peeler crab under these rocks. So hopefully I can get a couple more, and that might boost our chances of getting a decent fish. In a bit. Got it. Just whacked a couple more lug baits out. Obviously I've been fishing a fair few hours now. Only got about an hour left until I've got to leave because of the tide. And just had a bite, slack line, I reeled in, got it right into the edge, and then my leg got caught in a bit of weed. Obviously it managed to slacken itself off a little bit and came off. But there's a wrasse, probably about 2 to 3 pounds. A little bit gutted I couldn't show it to the camera. I mean, I've been fishing hard today. The fishing has been hard, can't find them. First off, obviously we were getting hit by the spider crabs and that, and then we had people crossing over our lines. And then we made the move, one bite, and we only got and lost the fish. Oh dear. Fuming. Right. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to fish for another hour. Fingers crossed. Good bit of tide there now. One fish, just one fish, and then I'll go home. I mean, I don't want to go home, but I promised my wife I'll spend one evening with her this weekend, because I've been out fishing quite a bit. So, right, let's get it. Fish on, brother. In a bit. Right, as you can see, the weed's starting to become a pain. That's what's happening to my shock leader every time. It's just pulling the lead out. So unfortunately, feel like I put enough effort in. Doesn't look like I'm going to get a fish today. Hopefully I'll get one next time. So until then, if I don't see you before, I'll see you after, and if not, I'll see you on the bank in a bit. Bosh, right guys, would you believe it? Obviously it's literally just about to pack up. Just done the outro then. All that effort, and bang. Bosh, there we have it. First keepable size bass of the year. I am going to put this one back straight away because I am running out of time. The tide is pushing right up now and I'm going to get cut off. I haven't got my waders on, otherwise I would have stayed for at least 3 or 4 more casts. Absolute gold, I'm buzzing. Oh my god, the last bait as well. All that effort's finally paid off. Result, buzzing. There you go, look. Bosh. In a bit. Booty! Right then people, obviously, sorry about I'm a bit of a sweaty mess. I'm just rushing to get back off the beach so I don't get cut off. As you can see, forgot the sun cream, absolutely skin tan, burnt skinos. And I know in my other video I preached about wearing it and that. General mistake, sat home on the side. Obviously left early, so forgot to pack it. Obviously, I did do the outro, but then again, I thought, why not? Let's get a couple fish. Well, a couple more casts in, and hopefully get a fish for the camera, because I was doubting myself a little bit. I thought I was doing something wrong or something like that, but it just goes to show, you know, when the fish turn up, you can catch them. If the fish ain't there, you can't catch them. Simple as that. Right, so I've got about half an hour, 45-minute walk back to the car now. So if I don't see you before, I'll see you after, and if not, I'll see you on the bank in a bit.